Controlling is all about the comparing or comparison of actual performance with the standard performance, and if there is any deviation, why they use this, they want to analyze that the standard which they have set and the actual which the employees are doing it. Now it is essence of financial control. It is very much essential in the financial control. Break-even analysis is that kind of analysis where we are supposed to know the break-even point. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students here. Now we are in the next session, that is the third session of controlling chapter. In this session, I'm going to explain you about the techniques of controlling. It's a 10 marks question or a 15 marks question in the Mysore University. So please do understand all the points. Now when we go with the technique of controlling, try to understand that management uses few of the techniques so that the controlling is done properly. Controlling is all about the comparing or comparison of actual performance with the standard performance, and if there is any deviation, we are supposed to rectify those deviation. The first one when we go with is the direct supervision and observation. It is a traditional old practice where direction is given and a supervisor is there and he will supervise the things. Second is financial statement. You will understand that whether the company is in a control or not. When you go with a profit or a loss, you will understand where we are going for wrong. Then we have budgetary control, break-even analysis, and return on investment. So these are the things which you see the books and you will get to know that whether controlling techniques are being used properly or not. Seeing that the next year we can actually plan for a better controlling technique. Management by objective. Now I have taken a special session about MBO and you are supposed to just go and watch it. In the first chapter itself, I have told you about MBO. Then we have management audit done by the management information system. The same way what MBO I have done, the same way I have done MIS also. And we have the new concept, that is PERT and CPM technique. And the last one is self-control. So these are the controlling techniques which you are supposed to write. The first one is directing, and when we go with this, that is a direct supervision and observation. So what exactly the direct supervision and observation is all about? So DSO, that is the direct supervision and observation, is the oldest technique. It is what? The oldest technique of controlling. The supervisor himself observes the employees and their work. This brings him in direct contact with the workers. So here what happens is a supervisor will be there. Supervisor will check each and every person, that is how well they are equipped with their work. Are they going for productivity or non-productivity? So he will get to know directly. So many problems are solved during supervision itself. So here the supervisor will actually check whether the employees are doing it properly or not. If he feels that they aren't doing it, directly he'll actually call them and tell them what they are doing is wrong or right. The supervisor gets first-hand information. That is, he will get a first-hand information. Nobody will tell him. He himself will understand whether the person is doing it or not and has better understanding with the workers. This technique is most suitable for small size business. So this is a technique where it is not for the big company or the big organization. This is for people who can actually have lesser strength in the employment. So this is for the small size organization. Next one we have here is the financial statement. Now what exactly happens in the financial statement? Now all business organizations prepare profit and loss account. It gives a summary. The financial statement gives a summary of the income and expenses for a specific time or a specified period. They also prepare a balance sheet which shows the financial position of the organization at the end of the specified period. So financial systems are used to control the organization. Now there are a few ratios which I'll be explaining it to you now. Here, why they use this, they want to analyze that the standard which they have set and the actual which the employees are doing it, are they meeting the standards or not. So ratio analysis is one among them, can be used to find out and analyze the financial statement. Ratio analysis helps to understand the profitability, liquidity and solvency position of the business. So we can actually have this as one of the very big or very important controlling techniques, so that we can check whether the company is in a profitability or a liquidity is more, turnover is more, are we in loss, or where exactly we are. Next one is budgetary control. Now budgetary control in the sense, now budget itself means standard. Now here a budget is a planning and controlling device. Budgetary control is a technique of managerial control through budgets. Now when you go with this word called budget, budget is a Latin word and it means that purse, what exactly you have in your wallet. Now it is essence of financial control. It is very much essential in the financial control. Budgetary control is done for all aspects of the business, such as income, expenditure, production, capital and revenue. And budgetary control is done by the budget committee to check whether we are going for the plan or we are going against the plan. Break-even analysis. Now break-even analysis is that kind of analysis where we are supposed to know the break-even point sales and break-even point value. When we go with this break-even point units, please understand there is that particular point where neither loss nor profit will happen. That is called a break-even. Now when we go for this break-even analysis, or break-even point is the point of no profit, no loss. For example, when an organization sells 50,000 cars, it will break even. It means that any sale below this point will cause losses and any sale above this point will earn profit. So the break-even analysis acts as a control device. It helps to find out the company's performance, so the company can take collective actions to improve its performance in the future. Break-even analysis is a simple control technique. So here what happens is, when we have a break-even analysis, we'll check whether the company is making a profit or a loss. Say example, I have given you one of the very easy example, that is, say, car manufacturing company. If they sell 50,000 cars, now they will be in neither profit nor loss. That means anything lesser than 50,000 cars, if you sell, you are in loss. Anything more than 50,000 cars, if you sell, you are in profit. When I say that, it is an easy technique for us to predict for the future, that is whether we are in a profit or a loss, and next year onwards how much sales we are supposed to do. That is called break-even analysis. Next one we have is return on investment. Investment consists of fixed assets and working capital used in business. Profit on the investment is the reward for the risk which you will be taking. ROI is high, then the financial performance of the business is good, and vice versa. ROI is a tool to improve financial performance. It helps the business to compare its present performance with that of previous year performance. It helps to conduct inter-firm comparison. It also shows the areas where corrective actions are needed. So with the help of ROI, we can actually see to it that our employees will perform properly. So it is all about what exactly we compare about the present year and the previous year to check whether we are going for return on investment or not. Management by objectives. Now, I've taken a special session only on management by objective. The reason here is it's a very, very important topic. MBO facilitate planning and control. It must fulfill following requirements. The first one, second, and the third. Objective for individuals are jointly fixed by the superior and the subordinate. Periodic evaluation and regular feedback to evaluate individual performance. And the last one is achievement of objectives bring rewards to individuals. So here it is, you will be benefited, plus the organization will also get benefited, because the organization only wants to fulfill the objectives to achieve the objectives. Hence, MBO is a very good technique for controlling system. Now, management audit. Management audit is an evaluation of the management as a whole. It critically examines the full management process, that is planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. It finds out the efficiency of the management. To check the efficiency of the management, the company plans, objectives, policy, procedures, personal relation, and systems of control are examined very carefully. Management auditing is conducted by a team of experts. Now here what happens is, internally people will be there who will check whether the management is being doing a biased thing or unbiased thing. Usually what happens is, in a management audit, you are supposed to check each and everything what the management is doing it, and they are capable of doing it. So through management audit, we can know that where we really stands and where we are supposed to go. So it covers the entire process of the functions of management, with planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. It also helps us to set the types of plan, that is like objective, policy, procedure, method, rules, and all those things properly. Now we have MIS, that is Management Information System. Now Management Information System, in the sense the entire data about a person will be actually stored in the system, and whenever it is required, we'll actually go with it. That means each and every person will be taken into consideration, and their performance will be measured and maintained in the information system. So in order to control the organization properly, the management needs accurate information. They need information about the internal working of the organization, and also about the external environment. Information is collected continuously to identify problems and find out the solution. MIS collects data. MIS collects data, processes it, and provides it to the manager. MIS may be manual or computerized. So here MIS, when we go with it, usually 96% people go with the computerized MIS, say 96%. The remaining, say 4%, they go with the manual. So MIS is very, very important, because they have the proper information about all the people whoever are working in the organization. Then we have PERT and CPM. Now PERT, in the sense program evaluation and review technique, called as PERT, and CPM means critical path method technique, were developed in the USA in the late 50s. Any program consists of various activities and sub-activities. Successful completion of any activity depends upon doing the work in a given sequence and in the given time. So CPM and PERT can be used to minimize the total time or the total cost required to perform the total operation. I'll be taking a separate session about PERT and CPM, where I'll explain you what is PERT and what is CPM. It is only to manage the time and manage the cost. That is how CPM and PERT have been given by the US people in the late 50s, that is 1956 to 1959. Then the last one we have is self-control. See, whatever happens, if a supervisor is there, a boss is there, whoever is looking at you, and then you are doing the work, I always feel that people should be self-disciplined, and they should have a self-control over themselves, and they're supposed to always work for the organization, so that the organization will pay them in large. Now self-control means self-directed control. Self-directed control. A person is given freedom to set his own targets, evaluate his own performance, and take corrective measures as and when required. Now, self-control is especially required for top level managers, because they do not like external control. The subordinate must be encouraged to use self-control, because it is not good for the superior to control each and everything. See, we are matured, we have been got experience all these years. Now we always want ourselves to actually go with the setting the objectives, setting the targets, achieving the targets. We don't want anybody else to actually dictate terms. So self control is a very good technique, but to achieve that technique, what is that you are supposed to do is you should be self disciplined, you should get motivated, self motivation, and then you are supposed to work. Only when you love your work, then you don't need any person to actually tell you what the work you are supposed to do. But it will not happen in all the cases. In a very big companies, you can't set your own targets. Now human are heterogeneous. Now when you are in a company, all the employees, they want to strive for the betterment of themselves, as well as they'll check about the organization goal. But here self control will be used only in the small and the medium companies or business firm. So these are the controlling techniques which you are supposed to learn and write it. If you have any doubt regarding this, please do call us. We are always there to help you. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you.